I love menu from the south of France, very fresh food, a lot of vegetable. And this is what we are going to cook, although you can cook it year-round, but it is especially good in summer. And what we are going to start with is that terrine, a terrine of vegetable, mostly done with eggplant. And you can use that type of eggplant, the conventional eggplant that you cut into like half-inch slice, or the long, narrow one that I have here, which sometimes people call Japanese eggplant, sometimes Chinese eggplant, and so forth, which when I can find them at the market are my favorite. And the idea here is just to brush that lightly with a bit of vegetable oil, canola oil, a dash of salt on top of it, and that's about it you do. Then you put it on the grill. And on the grill, it has to cook on each side for a couple of minutes. And I have some here, which I've been cooking for a while, and which is soft now, which is the way I want it. You can, of course, do that ahead so that you would want to use them when they are a bit cooler than what they are now. But one way or the other, you don't want those eggplant kind of hard, In the style of Nouvelle Cuisine, you want it soft, And this is what we have here. So we have a terrine here. That's what we call a terrine. And I line it up with plastic wrap, so it makes it very easy to mold. It's actually just a receptacle to put the thing in. You could put it in a round thing or anything. Brie cheese, and we're going to cut some brie cheese here. You want it fairly firm but nice. And what I do is really trim a little bit of the crust on the outside, on each side right here, the minimal amount, and cut them into slices. When you do this, this is going to glue to it. So you need another knife to get it loose. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time to pulling it out. So this is what you want to do with your brie. You can, of course, use a mozzarella, and if you, or any other type of cheese for that matter that you have at home. And if you really want to cut down, then you may even omit. Then I have red pepper here, and those red pepper, I'm going to show you later how to do it. And I have blanched parsley here. So the first thing that we do, we are layering that terrine, a layer of this in the bottom. Then you want to put the red pepper. Those are like pimientos, red pepper, which have been peeled, removed with all seed. So you arrange that in it. Then slice of cheese to cover it. And again, you can use your imagination and do another type of combination of what I did here. In the meantime, be sure that you put a little bit of pepper along the way and a little bit of salt. Again, the same idea here, whether you start with this or whether you start with your eggplant, it's kind of immaterial, doesn't really matter the way you want to work it out. Again, a bit more brie. In fact, I'm forgetting my parsley here. See, the parsley has been blanched with our flat parsley. It will give color and, of course, texture to the center also. So, again, maybe I put a bit more parsley because I didn't put any here. And I can finish it up with this. You don't have to finish it up with the eggplant. Doesn't really matter. Here. Then you bring that on top. That you can do even a day and a half ahead. Then we put a weight on top of it. I have a weight here. You can use whatever is heavy into the house to press this. You want to put that in the refrigerator now for a few hours for the taste to get together. And I have another one which has been cooling off here that I want to bring back. And with that, we are going to make a sauce. You see, I have a weight also here. You see that terrine, I finish it up with the red pepper. It really doesn't matter, but as you can see, it's nice and flat now. So, what I want to do is a raw tomato sauce here, which is very easy to do. All I have is 3 cloves of garlic, and tomato. I'm going to start by chopping the garlic a little bit first. If I don't do the garlic first, it tends sometimes to stay in pieces. So I have like 3 cups of tomato here. We want to emulsify it. And in that I put a little bit of water, Tabasco, red wine vinegar, and olive oil. That's about it, you know. Very fast and very good. Now I could leave that as is. If you want to be a bit fancier, you want to strain this through a food mill, as I'm doing here, to remove the seed, because the seed, of course, are not eliminated in the... And this is a good food mill. You should be able to go back and forth, you know. So as you can see in the bottom here, I'm going to have the fiber left. I have a light tomato sauce, which is quite flavorful here. And what we want to do is to unmold this. Of course, by putting the layering that I did here, it makes it much easier to unmold. There is no way that it cannot come out. The reason is that, remember, I have the plastic wrap, you know, around. Here it is. You can see the whole layering of my terrine here, which is a beautiful summer dish. What I want to do is to cut a piece, maybe right there, to show you the cut, you know, how beautiful it is. And maybe another piece to serve on a plate right there. The sauce will go around, nice pink sauce. You know, depending on your tomato, sometimes the tomato in full summer may have a little more color than that. And what I want to do is to do a little bit of the sauce here also. Here we are. And you could actually even put a few things of parsley around, as I'm doing here, to finish the dish. And this is our first course summer meal. And I want to show you how to peel those red pepper that we have used in our terrine. See those, when you peel pepper, those are nice and firm. What you do, you put them in the oven, under the broiler. You can put them directly on the flame. They have to get all charred around until the skin kind of blister. Then after you do that, you put them in a bag, close them, so the steam will loosen rather, I mean, make the skin better. It makes it much easier to remove, and this is what we have in there. They're still warm, and as you can see, after they have been, you can do that under the sink. But as you can see, the skin is really going to remove. It's very important to steam them in a plastic bag like this, Ziploc. It's very good, you know. So then what we do is to take the center of it. You can open them. There is always some liquid in there, you know. And we want to clean out all those seeds. You know, you can do it with paper towel even, cleaning out the whole thing. And this is basically what we had in our pepper terrine, you know. Those red pepper with that nice taste of charcoal or, you know, nice taste of roasting, you know. There is another way, actually, that we peel pepper. You can use them raw and peel them with a vegetable peeler. And that's what I do here. You see, if you have a good vegetable peeler, it's not difficult. What you have to do is that in the part, you know, where you cannot do in those recesses. So what you have to do is to cut those recesses to remove those segments. And then after you have access to the side, you know, where you couldn't get before. Now this is all peeled. It's very delicate. You can cut it in julienne like this or in little dice like this, which is what we are going to use in our next recipe. And our next recipe is a fish from the south of France. Again, one of those nice, delicate fish grouper family. So what we have here is a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to put leek in there, quite a lot of leek shallots. And I want to cut that very thin. And we want to cook that for a few minutes, you know. So we are going to poach that with wine, you know, wine and leek. I have that right in there. And my red pepper. The red pepper will go in there also. I have shallots here, you know, those tiny shallots, which are chopped very finely. I mean, you can chop them or slice them very fine this way It will be perfectly fine also. And mushroom. I have a julienne of mushroom here that you do by taking the top of the mushroom, cutting it, the cap like this, and cutting it into little stick like this. Actually, can be cut in any old way. It is not that important, you know. The mushroom can also be carved, you know, if you want decoration like this on top. That's what we call fluting a mushroom, you know. This requires a little bit of practice, but it looks nice when you put it on top of a fish, you know, using the cap this way. And usually you will use it whole like this to poach it. We can poach it right with ours here. And that, of course, wine. What we have here, about a cup of wine, a good dry white wine, a dash of salt, a bit of pepper, and this will cook for a minute or so while I'm preparing the fish. You can see here I have a beautiful fish. The eye is clear and transparent. This is a red snapper. And what you do basically is to cut it there, put your knife flat on the center bone, and remove your fillet this way, you know. Now those fillet, you have to remove also the center part, which I'm doing here, of the rib cage, you know, that I have there, so that it's basically boneless here. You do the same thing, of course, on the other side. Now a fillet like this is going to be about not quite half of the weight of the fish itself. And this here that we have, you know, the vegetable have been cooking maybe 1 minute here. That's about enough. In modern cooking, you know, we don't cook them long. You put the fish directly on top. We have 4 fillet of fish here. Maybe a little dash of salt again on top. And they're going to poach in that white wine. Another garnish, we are going to do cucumber. And cucumber is rarely served cooked, but we are going to cook it. It's a bit unusual, it's a bit different. You know, the cucumber is cut. Those are the long, narrow, so-called English cucumber, or seedless, although they do have seed. There is a different way of doing it, but in that case here, we cut them in 4ths. And each of those pieces start by removing the seed. That's what we call turning vegetable. Use the point of your knife, whoop, it's a bit slippery, to shape it into a kind of football type of shape, you know. And we do that with carrot. We do that with, of course, a lot of different type of vegetable. So here it is here, you know, that type of shape. You can cut them, peel them, and cut them in pieces is perfectly fine. That's a bit more elegant. We drop that in boiling water. This will cook very, very fast. It comes back to a boil, and basically it's ready. So let's see our fish here. See the fish, the way it curl up. Now those fish are basically ready. So it does cook very fast. What we want to put is a tablespoon of butter. Remember, all we did was a couple of tablespoons of oil in it, our tablespoon of butter at the end for maximum flavor to mix into the sauce. This is now back to a boil. So what we want to do is to drain it, place it back still wet in there, a little piece of butter in it, like half a tablespoon, and tarragon. The tarragon goes so well with it. Chopped tarragon, you know. Beautiful tarragon leaves here, as you see. A dash of salt. We want to mix that together. And up. And that's about it. So those type of dish, you know, are very, very fast. As you can say, all you have to have everything ready, but when you have everything ready, it goes very fast to cook. You should cook it at the last moment. Remember that the tarragon is quite strong and give a lot of flavor to it. So it has that type of anise taste to it. So here, we want to serve that individually. That you can serve right here. I could put a bit of the garnish in the bottom here. We want to put some on top also. And one fillet 1 fillet per person would be plenty. See, on the red snapper, I clean up the red snapper before, take the scale out of it, you know. And if you keep the scale out of it, we tend to keep the skin of the red snapper because it is delicate, and first it has a beautiful color also. So that's what we'll do here. If you want a dish for your fluted mushroom here, you could to put it in the center of it. And with that, our cucumber, which are a classic way of garnishing fish, you know. You can put around your fish, all over here. You see, sometimes we do that in barquette, and it is very elegant in barquette. This is a bit in the style, if you want a nouvelle cuisine, something delicate, and that would be the main course for our Provençal meal. We have a very elegant dessert today, which we call omelet soufflé. It's actually like a soufflé, but done in the shape of an omelet. It is actually the classic base of the baked Alaska, should be this way. And what we have here is 6 egg white. Conventionally, of course, it's stuffed with ice cream, and we're not going to put ice cream in it. We're going to beat those egg white. And again, in a copper bowl, what I start is by beating the egg very fast. So I break the egg white so that they are liquid. And then after, slowly, you go underneath to lift up those eggs and inflate them. I beat them in a copper bowl here. If you have a stainless steel bowl, it's perfectly fine. The copper bowl, however, will have a physical reaction with the eggs and tend to make it foam, you know, because of acidity. So it is conventional when you look at recipe for beating egg white that the recipe will tell you put a bit of cream of tartar, which is tartaric acid, or a couple of drops of lemon juice, which is citric acid, or a couple of drops of vinegar even, which is acetic acid. Any type of acid will make it foam. In fact, even a drop of, a little dash of salt in it will break the albumin in the eggs and make it foam. What you have to be careful is for the bowl not to be dirty. That if there is any fat in it, it reverses the process and the egg don't whip. As you can see, those eggs are practically ready now. I have a large balloon whisk, you know what we call a balloon whisk. And when I move it, the whole mixture is moved in one stroke. I don't have to go from one corner to the other like I would have to if I had a small whisk. Now you see those eggs hold a shape, a beautiful shape. They are elastic here. This is the time where we want to tighten the egg. We call that tightening the egg. And then we put the sugar in it, you know. And I have here half a cup of sugar that we put. I want to work it out with it a little bit too. And conventionally, you know, for the baked Alaska, that's what people do. It is a bit better if you I have a couple of egg yolk here. I beat the egg yolk with half a teaspoon of vanilla, and we flavor it with this. This is the real mixture, which is much more delicate than just the plain eggs by itself. This, we want to fold that gently into the egg mixture. Again, you know, notice that the left hand is turning the bowl and the right hand just doing the same movement over and over again. So what we do here, of course you use a metal bowl, you know, a metal tray for that. Want to place some of that mixture in the center. And conventionally, jam, you know, pound cake with jam on top. I turn it upside down here, as you can see. And I have a black currant jam here. You can have whatever jam you have. I think 3 slices will cover it. And the other side, I want to brush it with espresso, you know, which again give a lot of taste to it, you know. So use a large brush like that to kind of impregnate those little slice of pound cake. You can use ladyfinger, you can use other type of thing there. On top of this, a bit more mixture to cover the top, you know, as I have here. And the rest of our mixture is going to go in the pastry bag. We put a fluted tip at the end. We press it to get it nice. Right at the end, you turn the end of it so that you can put all of your mixture in there. this is where it is better if you have someone helping you and holding the bag, you know. You can hold it with your belly. We need all of those, all of this in there. Okay, here. In my bag, I want to clean my bag to have everything in. Now with a spatula, I'm going to smoothen this in and out, you know, like you would do a soufflé. The only problem with that dessert, which is done in a few minutes, you know, it doesn't really take long, is that it should be really cooked right away and used right away, you know. So this is one of the, now I turn my bag so that I get it, and then you can, of course, do whatever decoration you want around it, you know. Using the pastry bag to make it festive, you know. This is actually my Rococo period. You can see that, more on top. Use everything that you have in there, pressing it to have it, and as you see, it looks much more impressive than actually it is difficult to do. It's fairly simple. So this now cannot wait, unfortunately. It is lighter than a soufflé, there is no base, so it has to go in the oven pretty fast, and that will cook in about 12 to 15 minutes. No, in the center. So be sure that you have a tray which goes in the oven, stainless steel or other thing. And I have this one here, which is just about cooked, that I have here, and that's what you bring to the table with a little bit of powdered sugar on top, if you want, for a beautiful dessert, very elegant, that we call our omelet soufflé. There is always an element of suspense in soufflé, and it's even worse so in the omelet soufflé, because the omelet soufflé, you have to consume it right away. You know, I love to do the type of menu where the dishes go so well together, and that's what we have here. The south of France, you know, something very light, delicate, a lot of vegetable, a lot of color, you know. There is a type of symbiosis between the food which goes together and the wine for that matter. I mean, we have here our red pepper terrine, which is a stunning thing for a picnic. You want to go to a picnic, you bring this, you bring the sauce separate, you cut it into slices, and you can even put it in sandwich. You know, in between sandwich, it would be absolutely terrific. Then we have that fish, you know, which is special to the Mediterranean, that type of red snapper. Of course, you can use any type of fillet fish that you want with the same type of mixture, and try those cucumbers this way. Maybe you never try cucumber this way. They are really excellent with that taste of tarragon. And with that, of course, we have a salad. A nice salad will go well with it. And after, at the end, you know, that beautiful omelette soufflé that we have here, that you want to cut into it, and it is lighter, of course, than a soufflé, you know, with a little bit inside, as you see, of the red and the biscuit that we put in it, or pound cake, or whatever you want, or even cookies, you know, or ladyfinger, of course, would go well with it. This is a stunning dessert that you can go for a special occasion. With that, I like to serve one of the greatest wine of the south of France, a Bandol, you know, which is made from a special grape, the Mourvèdre. This is Domaine Templier, Bandol, just above Toulon, a very fruity, spicy wine which goes so well with the type of food that we did today. Try that menu for your friend. Try it for a special occasion. You're going to love making it. I love making it for you. Happy cooking.